Sarah, mother of the 12-year-old Marcus, dies mysteriously while taking a bath. Her husband Paul is later remarried to 22-year-old Elise. 3 months into their marriage, Marcus returns home from boarding school, 2 weeks before term finals. Elise meets him in the hallway of the house and asks him how he returned home. Marcus replied that he took 1,000 pesos from his father's study, prompting Elise into thinking that he stole the money. She later tries to warm up to Marcus and asks him about his early return from school, to which he replies that a chickenpox epidemic broke out there. Elise notices further abnormal behavior from Marcus, who also takes an abnormal interest into her. Days later, Marcus' father Paul returns and him and Elise discuss about the stolen money from Paul's study at a dinner. Marcus now claims that he took 300 pesos, as he didn't have any pesos on him for the taxi ride home. Elise quickly contradicts this and tells Paul about their first encounter, where Marcus claimed he took 1,000 pesos, but can't present any proof to Paul. Paul lets the matter slide. Elise, now fully suspicious about Marcus, begins searching his room for the stolen money. She finds the shredded remains of a letter Marcus received from the mail earlier, which he claimed to have come from his school book club. She becomes even more suspicious and decides to pay Marcus' school a visit. There, the principal, Dr. Kessler, tells her about Marcus' stalking crimes. He even says about the findings of crude mature drawings in Marcus' dorm in school, which lead into his expulsion. Kessler also tells Elise about Marcus' obsession of torturing and killing animals. A shocked Elise later tells Paul about this, who admits Marcus' mental disorientation after his mother's death. He reassures Elise that Marcus needs more time and love. However, Elise still struggles to fully accept Marcus into her life. She later discovers Sarah's clothes hidden in the attic. She confronts Marcus about the finding, but Marcus denies putting the clothes there. Elise later asks Marcus how his mother was like, but Marcus accuses Elise of distrust and leaves. One night, Paul takes Elise into a house party, where she feels uneasy among the guests. She then runs into Dr. Violin in the bathroom, who tells Elise that Sarah, Marcus' mother, had died there. Violin also tells her that she slipped into the tub and drowned, as she suddenly went into a heart attack. A shocked Elise then demands answers from Paul, who reluctantly tells her that the house belonged to them before Sarah died. After her death, Paul sold the house to Violin and moved to their new home. Throughout the film, Elise keeps growing more suspicious about Marcus. She keeps telling Paul about his lies and denials about the crimes he committed, but Paul pays no heed. Before Paul's departure to Paris, a drunk Elise keeps taunting Marcus into admitting his crimes, but Marcus mocks her instead. She then tries to reconcile with Paul, but he ignores her and leaves for the airport. After Paul leaves, Elise lies in bed until she notices a hole in her bedroom ceiling. She runs to the attic, where she finds a hole was dug underneath the floorboards so that she and Paul can be spied upon. Elise then rushes up to Marcus' bedroom and demands answers for everything. She then demands the truth about Sarah's death, as she suspected Marcus killed her. Marcus agrees to answer, only if Elise offered herself to him. Elise then reluctantly gives herself to Marcus while asking about Sarah's death. Marcus then admits to the murder to Elise, who can't believe his confessions. She then rebuffs Marcus' claims and storms off the room. Marcus claims that he was not a child, as children could not murder their mothers. A frantic Elise then calls Paul back from the airport about the hole in the attic. She then takes him there, but finds that hole filled in, presumably by Marcus. Elise pleads Paul to believe her, to which Paul doesn't answer, but also doesn't say anything to Elise. A couple of days later, Paul finds their family dog floating dead in the pool. Marcus later takes the carcass and buries it. Elise then goes to Dr. Lyon's office, who questions her about all the discoveries and accusations against Marcus. By using reverse psychology in a lengthy inquiry, Vion makes her doubt her claims as she had no proof. Vion then demands why Elise offered herself in front of Marcus, who was a minor. She also accuses Elise of killing the family dog. Elise denies the claims and keeps telling that she was made to undress by Marcus in exchange of his confession. But Vion doesn't believe her. Elise, now being accused of assaulting a minor, becomes mentally unstable and decides to kill Marcus in his sleep. When she is about to smother him, Paul interrupts and takes her away. Elise is then taken to a mental asylum, where she is given high sedatives. She then starts having nightmares of her killing Marcus, her getting killed by the family dog unleashed by Marcus, and her having a moment with Marcus while Paul watches on. Elise is later released from the asylum after her recovery. Paul picks her up from the gates and forgives her of all her misconducts. He also says that he sold the house as he wanted a fresh start with her and Marcus. Marcus then introduces his new dog, Hannibal, to Elise. Marcus and Elise then take a stroll alone, while Marcus proposes her an incestuous affair, citing that Paul was aging and was no longer able to satisfy Elise's desires. Elise then agrees, and they both hug passionately. While walking through the park, they come across a road where Elise notices a car coming up at high speed. She then throws the ball across the road, which the dog Hannibal runs after. Marcus gives chase after him, only to be run over by the car, which apparently kills him. Elise then walks away from the scene as a crowd gathers around the dead Marcus.